What's your name and who are you?
I am Jeff Filkowski. I am a former cabinet maker and amateur race car driver.
And what are you doing with EVSR?
I'm going to be driving with them at the 25 Hours of Thunderhill.
Have you ever done endurance racing before?
I have, but it's been a while.
Okay. What drew you to becoming a driver for this event?
Just the fact I've been watching Charlie evolve this car from the beginning and always had an interest for it. And then he painted it blue and called it Harry, and it's a tribute to our dear friend Harry. And I said, all right, I need to drive Harry. And the opportunity came up for me to pester him enough to get the opportunity to drive at the 25-hour race.
Have you driven EVSR at all before?
I've done some testing leading up to the race.
How do you find the car different from what you ordinarily drive?
It's interesting. It handles well. The center of gravity is very low. It's neutral handling, but you hear no engine sound. You hear the whine of the electric motor only, and you can actually hear your tires scrubbing. It's very interesting.
Is it hard to get used to?
I haven't found it hard at all. No.
What are you most looking forward to getting out of this event?
The experience. Yep, the experience.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to share?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Todd Reed. I've been with EVSR since the beginning. I'm their lead driver. I've driven it in sprint races, hill climbs, time attacks, and we have done some endurance racing with it, but that was sort of a different venue than this.
What would be different between this and the 25-hour?
Charlie invented quick change battery packs for this race. So we're going to be running one car and changing batteries. The previous times that we did something sort of similar to this was a 12-hour race and we switched cars. We didn't switch battery packs, so that's really totally different.
How has EVSR changed since you became involved 8 years ago?
Oh, it's changed a lot. The chassis been redesigned, the body is completely different. We have totally different programming, different power levels. We changed tires, brakes. Pretty much the entire car has evolved, I'd say at least twice, if not almost 3 times.
What's your confidence level in EVSR succeeding at the 25-hour?
Oh, I'm very confident. Unless some unforeseen circumstance takes us out, such as like another car hitting us possibly, which that's difficult for us to control, I'm very confident that the car is going to run well and put the laps in. It's just you never know in an endurance race what might happen that might be out of your control. That's part of the fun of doing it. But having Charlie on our team and being in charge, he can fix almost everything. So it would have to be really catastrophic to take us down completely.
What are you most looking forward to from this event?
Oh, I'm most looking forward to being the first EV-powered race car that's going to race in a real endurance event. I mean, this is 25 hours continuously against other cars that are powered by internal combustion. So we're going to be the first to do that. I believe we're going to be the first to do multiple quick change battery stops, many of those. And the car is pretty quick and it's really fun to drive. And if it's wet, the car is fantastic in the wet. So if we do get any rain, we might really surprise some people. The car's awesome in the rain.
All right, thanks for your time. Is there anything you want to add?
No, just go EVSR. Focused.
Who are you and what's your name?
John Early.
And what's your relationship with EVSR?
I am a driver for Thunderhill. I've known Charlie for 25 years as a customer and as a friend, and done many endurance races, including drove Thunderhill a few years back in a gas-powered car.
Will this be your first endurance race in an EV?
In an EV, yes.
Okay. Well, what brought EVSR to Thunderhill? Who thought this would be a great idea to have 50 to 60 pit stops for a race team?
It's all my fault. A friend of mine said, oh, you got to see this movie, Ford versus Ferrari. And I went to see it, and I was like, oh, wow, we got to take EVSR to Thunderhill. This would be perfect. And I knew there would be a lot of technical challenges and some expense. But I did the math, that if we could make quick change battery packs, that we could do pit stops in under 3 minutes, that we could succeed at this event. And I convinced Charlie, and once I convinced Charlie, then we had to figure out how to make it work from the technology point of view. And he's just been amazing with that. The engineering on the quick change batteries and all the other systems. It's been quite the adventure. It's been a lot of fun, and the accomplishment will be good too.
What's been the biggest hurdle getting ready for the 25-hour?
So many disparate little pieces, and just making sure that we don't forget, because every little piece matters. Just this morning, I was wiring up headlights onto the spare bodywork that we have in case something happens to the body, contact another car or something like that, that it breaks. We have spare bodywork, and that spare bodywork needs to have headlights on it. That happens at night, and the headlights need to be wired. So this morning I was doing that wiring. Just lots of little things like that that have to be thought of ahead of time before you get to the track, because at the track it's too late.
What are you most looking forward to at Thunderhill?
Looking forward to successfully finishing 25 hours in an EV. They will have the opportunity to set a few records if this all goes well. And it's fun to set a goal and accomplish it. The last time I drove Thunderhill, we had an unfortunate incident with some contact with another car that left us in the pits for about 45 minutes, so it took away our chance to win our class. But it was still get out there and drive and drive and drive and drive and drive. And when it's all done, there's a real sense of having, accomplished something. It may not be the most worthwhile thing in the world. We're not curing cancer, but still
Or saving babies.
or saving babies. But we are going to push forward the technology. We're going to prove that EVs have a place on racetracks with internal combustion engine cars, that we can coexist, we can race together, and we can succeed.
Thank you. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
I'm just looking forward to the green flag on December 4th.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, who are you?
Hi, I'm Charlie Greenhaus, and I'm the Chief Engineer and Project Manager for EVSR. And in about 2-3 weeks, I will be the one of the 4 drivers for the 25 Hours of Thunderhill, where we will be the first EV to ever compete in an endurance race of this magnitude. And we're looking forward to a great result.
What's been the biggest challenge getting an EV ready for a 24-hour plus endurance race?
Well, there are tons and tons of challenges. I think one of the hardest things to really figure out and took the most amount of energy and thought was doing a pit stop. Unlike any other that's ever been done. Unlike a regular internal combustion car, who just dumps 7 to 20 gallons of fuel in every stop. We have to change batteries, which involves a whole lot of engineering and a tremendous amount of hardware that's never been built before, and we had to design that from scratch, implement it, and refine it.
How many pit stops do you think EVSR is going to face versus the typical entrant at the 25-hour?
We're looking at pit stops every 30 to 35 minutes based on our recent test at Summit Point, which is some of the faster GT cars will be just over an hour. Some of the smaller, lower displacement cars with bigger fuel tanks, like the Mazdas and some of the BMWs, will approach 2 hours between stops. So we're going to have substantially more stops, but we have refined them and they're very quick. And if we can reliably do 2-minute plus or minus pit stops, it will keep us competitive.
What are you hoping to get out of or accomplish out of having EVSR at the Thunderhill?
Well, I mean, it's certainly going to be the world's first. We're excited to show viability. We've shown viability in hill climbs, road racing. This year the team got a championship against 60-plus gas cars at the DC region bracket race series. And I think that this is going to really kind of solidify our original contention that they're just another race car.
What would you like to convey to people out there that don't know about EVSR or electric racing?
As everybody says, electric is the future, like it or not. We're all heading there on some level. Hybrids are, very prominent. They've been in world-class racing for years now. I think that we need to have a more open mind. We need to look to the future. We need to think about where we're heading. I won't pretend that a racing program of any nature is an environmental statement, but certainly it's leading the way towards other opportunities where we can continue to have fun and be competitive in a quieter and ultimately long-term a more environmentally friendly way.
Why did you pick the 3 other members of the driving team?
Well, Todd has been our lead driver since 2014 when we started the program, and John has been a part of the program as well for the entire duration. He's been a big part of huge help, and I have a lot of experience with both of them as drivers. Flip is new to the team, but not new to me. I've known Flip for 15-20 years. He started out as a flagger for us, has deep roots in club racing, and recently actually went to the runoffs and qualified 5th. Unfortunately had an accident which bumped him back a number of positions, but he's a really solid driver who understands the goal and is very mission oriented towards finishing this race and finishing it well.
What do you think the biggest challenge is going to be for your crew and drivers that they're going to face at Thunderhill?
The truth of the matter is I think the hard work is done. The cars have proven reliable. Our 5-hour test at Summit Point was a great success. We had some electrical problems that we overcame very quickly. We actually had a deer hit at the end of the session, which the car withstood very well, and we learned from it. But what we really learned is that based on the pace we ran there with the pit stops that we had, we can run a good competitive race at Thunderhill. So barring any unforeseen circumstance, I think we're prepared for a good, clean, solid race.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Let's go kick some gas. Bye-bye.